Hey guys, welcome back. And today I'm going to share some knowledge about snowboard stances. Whether it's your first time putting bindings on the board or you're a seasoned veteran, I hope and I think you can take something away from this video. So there's two key elements to putting bindings on a snowboard. That's the width between your feet and the angles that you put your stance at. For the width between your feet, you want to be really careful that you're not going too wide and too skinny. If your stance is too skinny, unfortunately you'll be stuck in a kind of a tall position, and vice versa with the opposite. If your stance is too wide, you're going to be stuck with your legs super far apart and end up with sore muscles and possibly knee problems at the end of the day. So really finding that happy medium in the middle is crucial. Definitely spend some time at home, put the bindings on the board, move them around, put your snowboard boots on, strap in and see how it feels. Once you've got it dialed, you can kind of move it from board to board and just kind of keeping the same sort of stance. It does take a little bit to play with when you move from board to board. If you have the luxury of that, yeah, I just get it dialed. It's one of those things. I'm 186 centimeters tall and I run a 22-inch stance. For those of you who've never put bindings on a snowboard before, you'll notice that the binding comes with a small circular disc with numbers on it. When you chuck them in, you'll notice that there's 0, 3, 6, 9, and so on. It all goes up by increments of 3. So whatever number that you put it on means that that's the angle that your feet will be facing. So I run 15 on my front foot and 9 on my back foot. The reason I run those stance angles is I find that when you go too crazy and too much angle for the type of snowboarding that I do, it kind of compromises the knee a little bit. And I'm all about trying to preserve my lower body while snowboarding. So keeping it a very mellow and a very neutral stance as possible, I find is key. Definitely play around with it, like I said, with the stance width. As my stance angles are not going to be the same as yours, or not going to feel the same as yours. Maybe they work, maybe they don't. But just play with it and have some fun with it. Change it. I've been playing around with +3 on the back foot lately and it's super fun. I definitely advise for those first time snowboarders, definitely keeping those angles quite mellow, like a +9 and a -3, or a 0 and a +9, but don't go too crazy as you can compromise your knees and injure yourself from giving it too much angle. There is a time and a place for greater angles on the front foot and back foot, but for the type of snowboarding that I do, and I find majority of the snowboard community definitely doesn't need to go up into those crazy positive ranges. Last but not least, we're going to talk about forward lean. So what forward lean is a mechanism on the back of the binding, whether that be the roller sort of thing that I have on my binding here, or a latch that pushes the high back of the binding forward. And the benefits of this is when you force the binding forward a little bit, it kind of pushes your boots forward and your knees forward and kind of forcing you to bend those knees a little bit, putting you on the balls of your feet, so to speak. So that's going to be handy for those people that snowboard a little taller. It'll give them a little bit of help just kind of relaxing into their snowboard, kind of forcing them to bend their knees.